Looking forward to doing some gigs in Naples, overlooking the majestic Gulf of America. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. No choice. We're going to mandate you get it on. Oh, David Freiberg, I'm happy as I look down on my thing, who co-wrote one of my favorite Jefferson Starship songs, which is Jane, which is just I think I'm going to go with the rock and a song. It's always associated with Jefferson Airplane and then became Jefferson Starship. I was like, what the hell happened to Grace Slick? She was huge, and then I haven't seen her around in 30 years, maybe more, and she had a statement that Joe read off the air, and I'll give you a second to find it because I didn't really prep Joe, but kind of summed it up. Like, no one wants to see your old ass up on stage. Although David is pretty old. I also think it's women more than men. I mean, the Stones are older and shit. The Who's older and shit, and they can still play, and who cares? I think the women, especially when they got by on being sexy, you know, when they were younger. Grace Slick's still alive, just said, no. And then also, all rock and rollers over the age of 50 look stupid and should retire. In fairness, it's difficult to disagree with Slick here. Watching Pete Townsend perform My Generation as a 78-year-old is frankly ridiculous and a depressing affair. There's something about old people singing rock and roll lyrics that bothers me. It just doesn't match. Well, it's true. You're talking about young and rebelling against the man and getting on your scooter and going into town and fighting, and a girl you're interested in at the end of the bar, and your prostate's exploding and your grandkids are in their 30s, right?
Yeah, but you get a discount at IHOP.
Oh, yeah.
Balances.
Well, if they write current stuff about eating at 5, discounts at IHOP,
yes,
eating free on your birthday, stuff like that, and discounts at the theater.
Kissing your grandchildren.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know the one band in particular that inspired this quote? She said, I saw a film of Fleetwood Mac doing something, and I was okay as long as I didn't look at them. I couldn't look at them. They sounded great, and if I looked away, I imagine young people singing. I was okay with it.
Yeah, I think she's being a little sexist because there's 2 women in Fleetwood Mac, and I think that's where the beef starts because they see the aging. All right, so we'll talk about that. The other thing, I don't know if you've heard this, Dawson, but they have a list of worst songs ever. And
I think I know what you're getting at.
They always put We Built This City on there.
Yeah.
And I first feel like Hall Notes has 4 songs that are worse than that song that get played all the time and never counted. The Eagles have 7 songs that are worse than that. Paul Abdul has 11 songs that are worse than We Built This City, but it somehow made it onto some list and it'll never leave. And the other song that used to be on that list is somewhat MacArthur Park by Richard Burton, or is it Richard Burton? Richard Harrison. MacArthur Park. It's my fucking favorite song of all time. You've taken my favorite song of all time and put it on the shit list, a pox upon your family.
With the weird wavelength, I don't get it. Like,
We Built This City is not my favorite Jefferson Airplane song, but it does not crack the top 1,000 horrible songs that get played constantly. It's not as bad. Nothing's as bad as Man Eater, so why is this on this list?
You know, this band was an example of cancel culture before cancel culture existed because of this song. And I think, I remember it was like national news that other bands were pissed at Starship, not Jefferson Starship. This is Starship now. They were pissed at them because they thought that Starship was saying, we built this city, instead of we built this city on rock and roll. They were saying they were taking credit for it, and that was the big huzzah.
I get it.
I'll file this under Tool Tune.
I love this
Like if
song.
it comes on the radio, I'll listen to it.
Yes.
It shouldn't be on. It shouldn't be on anyone's list of worst songs ever.
Oh, there's so many worse songs than
Yeah,
this.
it's a happy tune. A happy tune.
That's just San Francisco. Like I said, Marconi plays the mamba.
Yeah.
You know, this is a very San Franciscan-centric song.
I totally agree. It makes me, but it is on those lists, right?
Absolutely, every single one.
And it just shows what lemmings people are.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You'll have to talk to Freiberg about this song. This is essentially the reason he left the band,
Whoa.
which is on your bio.
Wow.
And he went on to say the only real thing on that song were the vocals and the guitar. I was useless, so I left. It completely turned away from anything organic, and it wasn't really what I did.
Well, I don't
But
know that that's
still no
the same
Maneater.
band. Yeah, it's a weird one-off, sort of like a kitschy type. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we got to make a song for a toy commercial. Lego, get after it. We built this city.
Well, him saying the only thing real on it were the voices and the guitar. I mean, that's hell.
song.
That's halfway home. I mean, a lot more than Paul Abdul does,
I
right?
think he was probably saying there was a lot of synth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. Speaking of music, I gotta say, so I was heading down to Roseanne Barr's place today, right?
I heard.
I'll tell you, they say never meet your heroes. I would say never check out their home. Because I got to tell you, I walked into Roseanne Barr's home and Mike Tyson years ago. Disappointed. There's no universe where Adam Carolla should have a nicer house than Roseanne Barr and or Mike Tyson. That universe doesn't exist. You understand? When Mike Tyson and Roseanne Barr came onto the scene, I was, apartment, 3 roommates, futon. I didn't even eat top ramen. I did bottom ramen.
Yeah,
I was so poor, making $11 an hour, driving a pickup truck. And Mike Tyson was Mike Tyson in, 1989, whatever. Roseanne Barr is the highest paid person on TV. They're like $1 million an episode. And by the way, people do that thing where they go, $1 million an episode. That was back in the day.
Yeah.
$1 million an episode when you could buy a nice ass house in Studio City for $275,000. That house, that 275 house now, that's 2.4.
Yeah.
That's 2.4. It was 275, and she was making $1 million an episode. I mean, that's a kind of fucking buku bucks. Not impressed by the house. But I
guess you're not getting invited back anytime soon.
No. We had a good conversation. I had a good conversation with her. I had a good conversation with her son. She made fun of her own home a little bit. Tyson, I felt the same way.
Oh, so you're on the show then?
Yeah, I'm on her show.
Oh, great.
She'll come back on this show, and we'll keep the conversation going. But and you tell me when it loads up. But when we're on the way there, I had Andrew, who was videoing me for some extra content, and for Substack, right? Have I got that right? Substack content. And we're just driving along the car, and I said, look, let's do a thing. I'm going to put it on the 70 station, and then, Dawson, you can play along. Everyone can play along at home. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the radio all the way down. And then I'm going to put on the 70 station, and then I'm just going to turn it up and turn it down real fast. Like when people go, well, you listen to a song for 2 seconds. Not 2 seconds. It'll be under 1 second, and we'll see if I can guess the song by just knob up, knob down. So it's on the 70 station with 0 volume. Crank it to 20. As fast as I do, quarter turn this way, I'll go quarter turn back. I'll see if we can guess the song.
Beat Shazam.
All right, beat Shazam. You ready? Are you filming me?
I am filming you. Where are we headed?
We're heading to Roseanne Barr's home, but we have some time in the car, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the 70s channel, on Sirius XM, and I'm going to turn the volume up for 1 second, and then I'm going to turn the volume down, and I'm going to name the song. All right? You ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Casing the Sunshine Band? That didn't work, was it? Oh my God! No one's ever going to beat that. I just want check the tape.
Check the tape.
Run it back. Hear anything? No one's ever going to beat that. And we're wearing headphones now. This isn't a SUV. Bop, bop. I do not own a Casey and the Sunshine Band record. Dawson has been with me for 20 years. He's never heard me say anything about Casey and the Sunshine Band. Have I?
I'll just agree with you. We've talked about Casey and the Sunshine Band, but I could barely even hear that.
I could barely hear it either. No, I'm not saying I don't know what Casey and the Sunshine Band is.
No,
I don't have any records, and we've never had we've never broken down their songs.
I was actually, in listening to that, I was waiting for you to turn it up again and be like, well, I didn't get enough time. No,
I went, zip,
you fucking nailed it.
All right, one more time. Just listen. I see you couldn't even hear any beats of the song. So this is going to get to an interesting subject. Here it is. So, you ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. That's just Casing the Sunshine Band? That didn't work. Oh my God.
That's pretty good.
I just went check the tape.
Check the tape.
I didn't even hear anything. Wow. I knew I was good, but I didn't know I was that good. All right. That's the fastest I've ever done it, but it's an obscure song, too. But, I mean, it's not obscure, but I don't listen to Casey and the Sunshine Band. But now here's the question. What happened in my brain? I did not hear a recognizable song. I heard zip, zip. I did not hear a melody or a beat or a chorus, or there was nothing. You guys all heard it. You didn't hear anything. You just heard zip, zip, right? But something in my brain went to Casey and the Sunshine Band, even though if you said to me, name 50 bands from the 70s, I might not mention Casey and the Sunshine Band. It's not at top of my list. So something in my brain felt their fingerprint, their stamp. Every band has a sound.
It's a game. There's like a game show with Jamie Foxx that surrounds this exact phenomenon. Yes, it's a thing.
Is he still alive, or is that a doppelganger robot?
I don't know.
No, I get there's a game, and I get when people go dun 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 dun. You go, my Sharona.
Sure.
But you don't get duh. No. That's just one note. But the point is my brain didn't recognize a song. This is not, I'm not, let's put my brilliance aside for a second. Let's
do it.
I know it's difficult, but let's see if we can just shelf my brilliance for a second. That was more animal than it was human. I wasn't recognizing beats or chords or lyrics or chorus. I recognized a footprint.
Yeah, because
of a print of a band's sound.
Pattern recognition is a cornerstone of the human condition. If you don't recognize the pattern of a tiger's foot, you're going to get ate.
You're on the right track, I believe, Mayhem. I think, in theory, I would liken it to that meme that has all of those words misspelled, like E's or threes, and words are backwards and spelled backwards. And you can read clearly that if you can read this, it means your brain is working properly, and you can da-da-da-da. I think music-wise, what would you say the over-under is on how many times you've heard that fucking song?
Yeah. I've heard that song hundreds of times.
So what I would theorize that your brain identified a sound frequency that's in that song, and your mind put the rest of that song together in an instant, and you knew what it was.
I didn't know which Casey and the Sunshine Band song it was. Sure. I knew it sounded, it had
all the hallmarks.
Well, it didn't have all the hallmarks because it was less than a second. So it was just, one more time. We'll play it again. But no, I'm just saying my brain and human brains operate in some deeper level than we think we do, because that was me not recognizing the song. That was me knowing that Casey and the Sunshine Band had some sort of signature and some sort of footprint, and it hit. By the way, when I said Casey and the Sunshine Band, I had no idea. I didn't go, yes. I was just like,
right.
That's all I got. All right. You ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Casey and the Sunshine Band? That didn't work, was it? Oh my God. All right. Anyway, I crushed the rest of them, but the rest of them I got some beats in there and some stuff. Mm-hmm. Now listen, everybody. If that's autistic or if that's being on the spectrum of Asperger's, then so be it. So be it. I just happen to recognize stuff.
You want to see if you can name a Jefferson Starship song by just hearing that much?
It would have to be. It can't be a deep cut.
I'll make it a hit.
All right.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm. Run away? I don't know.
No, I'll give it to you again.
I don't know that.
Whatever it takes is what I'm gonna do. Let 'em say we're crazy.
Yeah, I guess I don't roll as deep on. I know this song.
By the way, Mickey Thomas and Starship is on the classic rock cruises I work.
Oh, he is.
And me and my buddy Izzy, who you know, we're standing on the deck watching Mickey Thomas and Starship do this song. Now, we had to get somebody to do the Grace Slick parts. And we both agreed. And we ended up getting about 20 people waiting for this line. We all agreed that this woman will be judged on that one line. They say we're crazy. What do they know? And by the end we had all these people on the balcony, and as soon as she delivered that line, the entire balcony erupts in applause.
I gotta get on one of these cruises, man.
It's so much fun.
All right. In other news, I was watching my TMZ last night, and turned out that Lizzo got down her goal weight. Now, I told this to Roseanne, and I told her take it in the spirit in which it's intended. But a lot of people, men and women, they weigh 325 pounds, right? And it's like a woman is 5'5". And she goes, my goal weight is 190. And I'm like, that's a good goal weight, but you're still a fat ass. To those of us who've never seen you before, just behind you at the mall, we're looking at a 5'4", 190 pound. We're looking at a cruiserweight that's 5'4" as a female. Like, you're still fat to us. Yeah. So your goal weight is good. Now, I was saying this to Roseanne, so I was like a little bit worried, that she would take it in the wrong spirit.
Yeah.
But she said you got to have two goal weights because you can't, if you're a chick and you're 325, you can't make your goal weight 135. That's a bridge too far. You make your goal weight 185. Then once you get there, you go for the 135, right?
Realistic.
Yeah. Oh, Lizzo's 5'10". What do you think she was at peak weight?
I'm talking 390.
Oh, you're going that much?
390 for sure.
That high?
Yes.
You know
dense.
weight.
Yeah, I know.
She's dense.
I know weight.
You know weight.
I can one eye somebody usually and get it pretty
really.
Right. Yeah, and I think she's I don't know if she ever admitted. Yeah. She didn't admit it. Yeah, she definitely didn't admit it. But Lizzo was definitely 390 pounds.
That's way too big.
Yeah, she's
5'10". Way too big. That seems way too big.
5'10", African origin, dense.
390.
She had muscle under
she's
there.
She's bigger
bro.
in the fridge.
Yeah, she could double at you, Joe. Don't even. Yeah. I believe it.
So you're saying you do with weight what I do with Casey and the Sunshine Band songs?
Exactly.
You don't
right.
need much.
Oh, yeah. With fighters, I can one eye you and tell if this guy's lying to me. If he's saying I'm on weight. No, you're not.
You can tell.
I can tell.
390 seems
I'm just joking.
Is she 300? Is she 300?
I think so, yeah. It's got to be 300.
She claims she was almost 300. So I'm going to go with 300. And now she started her diet. Anyway, she had a clip of her at her heaviest. She had a clip. This wasn't the one I wasn't thinking of, but she was talking, saying that she made her goal weight. I think we'll have that somewhere. But that brings up questions in my mind. Then we have, I don't know, was it TMZ last night? Or there's a goal weight? Or she was explaining that she made her goal weight, Joe. Was that a clip we have?
No, sorry. I got that. The news was that she posted it on her Instagram story that she reached her goal weight, but let's see if we can find her talking about it.
Oh, yeah, that's a clip. TMZ saw it last night. Go ahead and find it. All right, I can keep moving forward while you look for that. Although it was on TMZ and she posted it. It's got to be there. I was... And my favorite movie, Mayhem, is Billy Jack.
No, I thought it was Earthquake.
Yeah. Well, Billy Jack was very, very depressing.
I never seen it, nor have heard of it. This is the first time that you get to talk to me about this.
It was everything that was wrong with the 70s. There was everything that was bad about the 70s. It was in this movie. In movie form. Was in Billy Jack. And there's a kind of a monotonish, morose, depressive voice that women had in the 70s that reminded me of my mom, and that's why I hate it. But this is the scene in Billy Jack after Billy Jack's girlfriend gets raped by the riverside.
Oh, wow.
By Bernard. He's mean because he drives a Corvette.
You mean Bernard?
Bernard.
This is a heavy subject, man.
It is a movie where the main antagonist is named Bernard, but Billy Jack calls him Bernard, and nobody on the set ever raises their fucking hand and go, his name is Bernard. It's a name. It's a normal name. Stop calling him. And Billy Jack, Tom Laughlin, is an Irish guy with blonde hair and blue eyes, but somehow he's American Indian because he wears a funky hat and moccasins and mispronounces the very American name Bernard. Bernard. Anyway, Bernard, a.k.a. Bernard, just gets done raping Billy Jack's. God, that just scrambled my sexuality. This is like, I'm like 9, and she gets tied down, spread eagle, like with stakes in the ground, and Bernard has his way with him. And she's obviously depressed after this assault. And then one of her young female friends says, you got to tell Billy Jack, mixed martial arts guy before it was popular.
Yeah.
You got to tell Billy Jack so Billy Jack can exact his revenge on either Bernard or Bernard, but they're the same guy. And then Billy Jack's girlfriend says in her super 70s Chris Carolla mom tone that nothing would ever change. So here it is, but I'll connect it to something modern. So somehow, I have a visceral.
You make me watch it. That is so weird. Dude.
I have a visceral reaction to bummer chicks 70s speak. It bothers the shit on me. It reminds me of my mom. And then I was watching TV the other day, and Elizabeth Warren came on and was giving a bummer speech. And I was like, why do I hate Elizabeth Warren so much? Oh! Billy Jack pretended to be an Indian. Billy Jack.
Oh,
Tom Laughlin is a blue-eyed white dude who somehow was Native American in Billy Jack.
I'm watching the movie.
He pretended to be Indian, and then his girlfriend bummed the shit out of me. But then it was always been in the back of my head. And then when I saw Elizabeth Warren giving one of her bummer speeches, I was like, that reminds me of Billy Jack. Billy Jack pretended. They make the ultimate power couple. Tom Laughlin and Elizabeth Warren both pretending to be Indians to try to make some money, by the way. That's what that's what Tom Laughlin was doing, was pretending to be Indian. This pretending to be Indian shit, it goes back.
Yeah.
You could hammer checks pretending to be Indian back in the day, just like Elizabeth Warren tried it now. But I'll play you her clip. If you close your eyes, you'll hear Billy Jack, bummer chick, 70s.
Did you see the New York Times headline? Republicans are now saying the quiet part out loud. They want cuts for grandma in the nursing home in order to fund massive tax giveaways for billionaires. Let's take a step
That's what
back.
they say.
President Trump has big plans for huge tax cuts for his rich as hell donors. You know, the big tech billionaires who had better seats at his inauguration than his own cabinet nominees. A massive tax bill like that is expensive. Extending Trump's tax scam alone would cost us $5 trillion. That's trillion with a T. So how do Republicans plan to pay for it? By slashing health care for kids, seniors, and people with disabilities who rely on these programs to survive. It's robbing working families so the richest Americans can get even richer. How much more obvious can you get? Republicans don't care about making working people's lives easier. They don't want to cut working families a break. They are in this to make sure that their billionaire buddies and billionaire corporations can keep lining their own pockets, all while working people struggle. I'm in the Senate to fight back.
Should not let it happen.
Damn your pacifism!
Your billionaire buddies, Bernard.
Bernard.
I never thought of the fact that it always reminded me of Elizabeth Warren, and then I realized they both famously pretended to be Indians. Billy Jack, I don't know if you read the rundown, Joe. Billy Jack, I know he lived with the Indians, and I know he practiced their rituals, but I don't know if he claimed to be an Indian or he just adapted the persona. He got the hat. He got the moccasins. You'd love it because this is early kung fu action.
Yeah.
And this is white dude kung fu action.
I'm into it.
70s white dude kung fu action. And you know he meant business because he'd slip his moccasins off.
Ooh.
He fought like you,
Listen,
barefoot.
I know. If you
fought
know.
barefoot.
Got to take them off.
He was Billy Jack, a mixed race Navajo, is a Green Beret veteran of Vietnam and a Hapkido master. You know the
I know the
Hapkido?
moves. I know a couple of those.
What I figured out from Hapkido is you kick racists in slow motion.
Yeah.
Is that part of the discipline?
It is.
Slow motion racist ass kicking. That's what I learned from Hapkido and Billy Jack. Yeah, a lot of front kicks.
A lot of front kicks, yeah. A lot of sort of war marches.
Goose stepping. So in the movie, he plays a mixed race Navajo. His name is Tom Laughlin. Does that sound like a part Iroquois? Tom First off, is there a whiter name? I mean, maybe Kelsey Grammer. Is there a whiter name than Tom Laughlin? And what is the real Tom Laughlin? He's Irish or something, right? I mean, anyway, he did the cultural appropriation way before Liz Warren did it, I think. Although maybe Liz Warren is early 70s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do
All
you
right,
mean?
I'm putting some ideas together here in real
I'm
time.
ready. Yeah.
Liz Warren is in her early 70s, and she's like applying for grants and trying to get into college and this, that, and the other. And that's when she starts making up the American Indian thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Billy Jack comes out in the early 70s.
Yeah, she's riding that wave.
I wonder if like a 21-year-old Liz Warren is like, you know what, before I go and apply to Harvard, I'm just going to check out the local cinema. And then she's sitting there watching Billy Jack pretending to be an Indian, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like sitting there going, seems to be working for Tom Laughlin.
Yes.
I mean, he's fucking white as the driven snow, and he's getting all kinds of accolades. What if I pretend to be Native American?
And what if I pick up some of this whininess from this lady?
Oh, yeah. I'll talk to my constituency like I was just raped by the river by Bernard. Laughlin wrote the original screenplay from the film Billy Jack. For the film Billy Jack. In 1954, he wrote it after witnessing the treatment of Native Americans in his wife's hometown of South Dakota. Winter.
It was a passion project.
South Dakota. But Tom Laughlin was never anything. So here's the question, Dawson. What year did Billy Jack come out, and what year did Liz Warren come out and declare she was in it? Because it could have been around the same time.
Liz Warren got into Harvard around 1992, but in the late 70s, she taught law at several American universities.
She could have got inspired by Billy
Rutgers.
Jack.
She was a lecturer at Rutgers from 77 to 78.
There's an AMC theater right outside.
That's right. Midnight showings of Billy Jack.
Yes.
You know that they didn't stop with Billy Jack.
What? There were sequels?
Dawson. Billy Jack. Ha-ha. The next installment, the third installment of Billy Jack.
Oh, it was the IP then.
Would have been 77.
Oh, wow.
Billy Jack goes to Washington.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. The same time she was applying at Rutgers. What year did Billy Jack go to Washington? This is what inspired
Goes
her.
all the way to the top.
Oh, my God.
1977.
So she went.
77?
There it is.
That's it.
Yep. Call Garrigus. I think we
Get Garrigus
can
on the
file a
blower.
lawsuit. This is evidence.
This is hard evidence.
This is circumstantial evidence, but it's evidence.
The year that she applied as an Indian at Rutgers, Billy Jack goes to Washington. A fake Indian goes to Washington.
We need to find out if Elizabeth Warren is one of those crazy people who saves ticket stubs.
77
We can find a ticket stub for Billy Jack Goes to Washington.
Yep.
We've got an open and shut case.
Red
This is
fever.
important. All right. We'll take a break. We got some news. We got our Lizzo thing. We got lots of stuff. Simply Safe traditional security systems only take action after someone has already broken in. It's too late at that point. I mean, let's face it. They've already broken in. It's got the word broken right in it. I've been using these guys for a million years. So is everyone who works here. And like I said, it's not hardwired, so you can pick it up. You know, if you're renting and you move to a new place, take the system with you. Simply Safe. They have active guard outdoor protection. It changes the game by preventing crime before it happens. If someone's lurking around or acting suspicious, agents see them in real time, talk to them directly, set off your spotlights, and even call the police. No long-term contracts or cancellation fees. It's around $1 a day for security and peace of mind. You owe it to yourself and you owe it to your family. It's Simply Safe. Right, Dawson?
You can get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at simplysafe.com/Adam. Just head to simplysafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this year. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Home Chef drowning in a sea of meal kit options. It's like a bad dating game show, and all the contestants look the same. That's where Home Chef comes in. Fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Over 30 options a week covering a variety of dietary needs. The one I tried recently, which was great, which was urban crusted salmon with garlicky zucchini. That's right, it's garlicky. I don't know if they made that word up, but that's what it's called. And peppers, and it was real good. And you do save money as well. Save an average of $86 per month on groceries. That's right, because go to the grocery store, man. You don't get out of there for under $300 these days. Home Chef even has a delicious kid-friendly menu with 18 new options each week for picky eaters. It is approved. It is the best meal deal on the planet Earth. Am I right, Dawson?
For a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. Just go to homechef.com/Adam. That's homechef.com/Adam for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. You heard that right. Homechef.com/Adam. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert. Here's a beat from Beat It Out with Adam Carolla and Jay Moore.
Here's my thing about a litter box. Every day because I've had one with a cat. Every day you look at it and you go, not yet.
Right.
But that's a mental illness.
Yes, it is.
It's not overflowing with shit. I'm not going to waste my time with 3 pieces of sesame chicken.
Right.
I'm going to wait till it's like that coin machine at the carnival.
Yes.
Where if you just put one more dump in there,
Right.
a little topple over. I'm going to wait till my cat has to cup his balls and back his asshole over the rim and just try to torpedo one into a nook and cranny of air.
Subscribe to Beat It Out on Substack at adamcarolla.com/Substack. Now back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Jay is a funny dude. He gets all my references, too. But I don't know if he'll get the Billy Jack. We'll have to hit him with that. Yeah, at first I was a little discouraged. I was like, Billy Jack, 71, Liz Warren, 77. That's 6 years apart. But then I forgot they made a Billy Jack Part 2, and then the third is him going to Washington. So
I missed the whole phenomenon.
Well, it's a big enough franchise that they needed 3 of them.
Had no idea.
They had no idea.
You opened up a whole new world.
A new world. Yeah, you haven't lived until you've seen a middle-aged woman get raped by a river by Bernard. All right, so we have Lizzo Warren. This is her. Okay, here she is.
I'm not going to be considered thin by any means. I will still be considered morbidly obese on the BMI, and little bros on the internet are still gonna call me big backed. But I will be happy.
And after a year of hard work, she is happy.
Did she do Ozempic, or did she talk about how she did it?
She's been saying that she's been working out.
Did she say what her goal was?
She didn't say her goal, but she does noticeably look thinner than she did.
She lost 16% of her body fat.
Wow.
That's a lot.
And yet she still says she's still in the morbidly obese standard? All doctors tell you you're morbidly obese.
I've never heard that in my life. It's always like, oh, you're a little underweight, da-da-da.
Oh, man, I want to strangle you. Guess I'll have to eat another sleeve of Thin Mints.
She weighs herself in a grocery store produce scale. Congrats, Lizzo! Your hard work and dedication is very inspiring.
Now I guess it's time to set new goals.
All right, she's very proud of herself. But here's my whole point. Wasn't she telling us for a decade that we shouldn't judge and that it was good and fat was good and we shouldn't fat shame and leave people alone? Then why are you so happy when you dumped 125 pounds?
Check her podcast history. I think we shamed her into it.
Now listen, God bless, number one, good for you. Hard work, I hope, paid off.
Yeah.
And you should be proud of yourself. You just shouldn't have yelled at everyone who called you fat when you were 300 pounds and super unhealthy. But I think the fat thing, when future generations go back and sift through the wreckage of this era, one of the insane things they're gonna come up with is, along with the gender stuff, like, well, assigned at birth, like, no, you're a chick or you're a dude. That's it. That's all we got. Those insane conversations are also the ones where we can't fat shame someone or tell someone they're unhealthy or they need to lose weight. I mean, everyone who died in COVID was fat. So, and it costs us cajillions of dollars a year. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing. Okay, listen to me. These people.
Yeah.
If you lit up a cigarette anywhere near the park their kids were in, they would fucking have you arrested. Why? It's unhealthy. And now I got to breathe your secondhand smoke, and you shouldn't smoke, and you shouldn't smoke, and you shouldn't smoke. All right. Being fat is worse. So you can do 1,000 PSAs on not smoking, and you can shame everyone, and you can outlaw it everywhere, and you can wag your finger at anybody. But if I bring up the thing that's more dangerous than that, then I'm the guy who needs to be pulled off the internet? Fuck right off. We're living in some weird upside down world where it's like, yeah, a man and a woman and a pronouns and a he and a they, and you can't call her fat, or she is fat, she's morbidly obese, and she's got pre-diabetes and diabetes and third string diabetes, and diabetes goes to Washington, but you can't fucking say anything, but she's dying of COVID. Like, okay, these are the rules. People are going to look back at this and go, these fucking guys were batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And then the next thing they're going to do is they're going to go, what happened to dudes? How did so many pussies go along with this?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go, I don't know. I never did. And they're going to be, but what about all the pussies? What about all the fucking sheep pussies out there? What happened to dudes? They just went along. They didn't want to get in trouble. But what the fuck?
The boundaries go back and forth. Societal boundaries. It seems like they rubber band now. It's not a normal ebb and flow. Like, remember the 80s? Dudes started dressing all chicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, it went out of that into some rough hip-hop 90s.
I've got to say, so I've never been down with anything.
Yeah.
I saw glam rock and like hair bands and stuff, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
But you like some of the songs on the radio, I'm sure.
I heard a little white snake traveling to Roseanne's, and I cannot lie.
Yeah.
I like that song.
Roll the windows down.
Yeah. I will say, you know how you can how you can tell everybody if whether you believe them or not, or they go, I wasn't down with all this bullshit, or I didn't go along with whatever, with a man and a woman. If you just want to know who wasn't down with whatever, there's one way and one way only to tell.
Instamatic camera?
Check the hair. Check the hairstyle.
Yeah.
This hombre, I passed through like 5 hairstyles. Socially, not me.
Yeah.
Now, I can't do shit with my head.
Yeah.
Okay? But guys tried. It didn't stop dudes from trying. You know what I mean? If you find a picture of me from 21, my hair looks the same as it did at 51, and it still looked the same at 31.
Yeah.
I had the same hair straight through. Straight through. Never changed. Which means no trends.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Because the hair...
Not even a mullet?
The hair goes first.
Oh, yeah.
The hair is the first thing. Facial hair, second. Head hair. When you look at like... Everybody had to have the same hair in the 70s.
Feathered?
You take a look at Love Boat.
Yeah.
Captain Steubing was bald. All he had was his sideburns and a little Friar Tuck on the side. Big bushy sideburns. He's a captain. Sticking out of the side of his hat. Yeah. Everybody had to have the same hair.
Yeah.
Which meant you had to go along with things. And then you get to 80s hair.
Yeah.
And that was a different hair. And then there's 90s hair. Then there's facial hair.
Yeah.
There's different everything.
You were just generic Carolla all the way through.
Never went on. Never bought in.
Yeah.
Never did it. You can't find pictures of me with bad hair. You can find chicks from the 80s. Every single good-looking 55-year-old chick has embarrassing 80s hair pictures of herself.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Not this hombre. Same hair. Always the same hair. Which means never check which way the wind was blowing. Never. And also lack of ability to do things with your hair.
Just never joined a club. Never,
I would preordain stuff retarded before it even hit. I'd go, that's a mistake. Not going to do that. You're going to look like a fucking asshole in 3 years. We're going to take pictures of you.
So never joined the disco club. Never in the heavy metal club. No, not in the hair band era. Just straight Carolla.
I will say I will attempt to torpedo my own case.
Yeah, I feel like you had a mullet at one point.
And I will say that somewhere in the early 80s, I would have had shorter on the side and a little higher on the top. My hair, but now I'm old, so I just wear my hair shorter.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, and maybe a little longer in like 80 when everyone's hair was just kind of big.
Yeah.
You know. But no, I've had the same haircut.
The margin of error is slim.
Well, also I'd get my haircut kind of short, and then I wouldn't get a haircut for 4 months, and then so it depends when you took the picture because it might grow out.
I know
in the interim, but no disco phase. That's why I never got laid.
Yeah,
I didn't play any of the games.
I know.
My stupid friends would be like, "I'm getting a chain and some puka shells. I'm getting my dick sucked," and I'm like, "I'm not wearing that." And they go, "I'm doing it," and then they'd go get their dick sucked, and I wouldn't. So I stand by my ground.
I see
stand
that.
my ground. And same thing with COVID. Basically, it's just like it's not a path to sex or riches.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah,
you get shunned.
Just mid-range, just floating through.
Well, society does not embrace you when you do not embrace society.
Yeah, I know.
But I can still sit around and go, "Nah, I saw that one coming. I wasn't going. I saw COVID coming. I'm like, I'm not down with any of this. I'm not participating in this. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to make fun of anyone who gets into it."
Yeah.
I was telling Roseanne, I called 200,000 people cowards, men mainly, cowards, sheep, and pussies on Twitter nonstop all through COVID. That's all I did was make fun of weak dudes.
Yeah.
For a reason. Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
It didn't have to be a nightmare.
I know.
Dudes could have acted like fucking dudes instead of pussies, and we could have got through it, but we didn't do that. We chose to ostracize those who stood up. Also, something I found out as well, or something I was thinking about, laying in bed at Dr. Drew's house at 3 a.m. I was thinking back when Newsom was on this show, and we played the clip not too long ago, Joe, where he bragged that he liked to work small to big. And it sounds like an idiot bragging about I don't know what, because I'm saying like take the big problems, sort them out, and then we'll get to the trans community, you know. But Newsom bragged he liked working small to big. I think we have the tape there.
Very
somewhere.
small. Well, I don't know about that. With huge socioeconomic issues,
Well, here's all
with
I'm-
generational
all I'm
poverty,
suggesting.
there's a lot of other
In
issues.
government, start big, and then we'll get down to the small stuff.
I like sweating the small stuff and then getting the big stuff. I think it's the opposite.
Okay, it's the opposite. He likes what? He likes sweating the small stuff and then getting to the big stuff. You know what's small? Delta smelt.
Yes.
A 3-inch fish is small. The Palisades burning to the ground, that's big. You see? He's worried about the small stuff because he's sweating the small stuff. He likes to work small to big. So a miniature guppy-sized fish, I would say, is small. And then $300 billion worth of real estate loss, I would say that's on the bigger side.
Yeah.
So I would say Los Angeles being on fire would be big, and Delta smelt will be small.
But Delta smelt are delicious.
That's right. All right. So that's, I would ask that he reverse his stance on big to small. Think aqueduct big. think aqueduct big. Think capturing rainwater.
Yeah.
Big.
Think forest ablaze as big.
Yeah. Think big. Yeah. Think everything's on fire that size. And I'll tell you what, once we get all that solved, then we'll go small down to Delta smelt.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Chip away.
Good
all the way
idea.
down.
I like that he was bragging about small. One more time, just because it's gonna make me laugh.
Very small. Well, I don't know about that. With huge socioeconomic issues,
Well, here's all
with
I'm-
generational
all I'm
poverty,
suggesting.
there's a lot of
in,
other
in
issues.
government, start big, and then we'll get down to the small stuff.
I like sweating the small stuff and then getting the big stuff. I think it's the opposite.
Thank you.
All right,
It's bottom-up thinking, not top-down thinking.
All right. Bottom-up thinking. All right. It's Delta smelt thinking, not Los Angeles is on fire thinking.
That's burn down California thinking.
Burn down California thinking. But working the small, like small stuff. By the way, He doesn't know what he's saying. He's just talking. When he says top down, bottom up, he doesn't mean, when Joe Biden goes, I'm going to go from the bottom up and the middle out, he doesn't know what he's saying. When he says generational wealth, he doesn't know what he's saying. He does not know what he's saying. He's just talking.
Gibberish.
All right. Should we take a break here, Joe? Well, up to me. Yeah. Let's take a quick break. And we'll talk to David Freiberg of Jefferson Starship. Right at the beginning. We'll talk to him right after this. Morgan and Morgan, life can be a little crazy sometimes, and one person's negligence can result in another person's settlement. Hopefully that'll be you. If you're ever injured, you check out my good friends over at Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers, more than $20 billion recovered from over 500,000 cases. That's right. They got a lot of clients, and they've recovered a lot over the years. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you a full and fair compensation for what you deserve. Going on the road and doing stand-up every weekend can be difficult. At least I make it look hard. But submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is easy. It's Morgan & Morgan, right, Dawson?
If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or #law #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Yeah, Adam, I love the show. I like that you say what's on your mind and the truth, and you don't give a shit about what the assholes are calling and complain about what you say. Stay real and keep on fighting back. Thanks, buddy.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
David Freiberg is our guest. Very early member of Jefferson Airplane, and then right before Starship? Did you get in right before Starship?
No, actually, I got in at the very end of Jefferson Airplane and was the beginning of Jefferson Starship.
Oh, did I not say that, or I said something else?
and I got out. I got out while it was Starship.
Oh, okay. Oh God, those are some years.
Yeah.
My God.
Long ago.
Yeah, but you're still rocking, man. That's incredible. There's dates coming up. It's the 50th anniversary Runaway Again tour. Seattle, Gainesville, Georgia, North Carolina coming up, Fort Lauderdale. So you guys are still, you're heading out and touring again. God, I mean, could you ever imagine so many years you'd still be doing it?
I couldn't imagine being 40. And there I am, 86, for Christ's sake. Oh, my God.
Well, it's weird. And also, I think, and I'm reading here that you were released from jail after getting busted for marijuana, which now even sounds kind of quaint now. And you,
it is.
And you, yeah.
I've been expunged.
You're gonna give me your guy.
I wonder. It's also, I feel like there was San Francisco hippies back as we knew them, but they're not sort of the weaponized hippie now. I feel like hippies are angry now. They didn't seem to be as angry back then. They were a little more into free love.
No, we were peace and love, flowers, flower power, right? We didn't want to fight.
Yeah, there's a lot more. Hippies got weaponized in like the last several years.
They did.
I don't even think we go hippie anymore, but I just mean, my mom was a hippie, be a little bit older than you if she was alive, and it was about Mother Earth, ecology, fighting the powers, fighting the man, and not really trusting the man. Do you know what I mean? That used to be the old that was the old version. Also,
sounds familiar, yes.
Yeah. So did you start off in San Francisco?
Oh, I grew up in Ohio, but actually I was born in Boston, grew up in Ohio, and I moved to San Francisco like the week the week between Christmas and New Year's, 59.
Really?
Yeah.
And were you there pursuing music?
No, I had no idea that's what I was going to do. Although, I was a classically trained violinist until I got to high school, and then they dropped. I went to a new school and there was no orchestra, so I sang in the choruses and acted and did everything else except study.
Who are some of the bands you remember going out with back in the day? Like who would have opened for you guys? Who were like on the way up at the time? And who are some of the bands you would have opened for when you guys were on the way up back in the day?
Oh, well, that was kind of weird because, the first band I was in was Quicksilver Messenger Service.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was the one I was in the starting 4 or 5 of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, I'm trying to think of what was their. I know the band, but I'm trying to think of the hit.
Have Another Hit.
Oh, fresh air.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, find that song, Dawson. That is the. Hold on, that song.
Oh,
fresh air.
Yeah.
That.
I'm trying to remember. I know we did some just to go with the Grateful Dead.
Oh yeah.
I know we toured Texas with the Grateful. Did some gigs in Texas with the Grateful Dead, and went out by ourselves a lot. Played the Fillmore East, and I don't even remember who opened for us. To tell you the truth.
and then you got out of Quicksilver and into Airplane.
Well, yeah, I had a little hiatus where I worked out with Mickey Hart from the Grateful Dead, helping him do his first solo album, and I brought Grace. One of my oldest friends that I had was Paul Kantner from Jefferson, who turned out, but this was before Jefferson Airplane. It happened. I was in jail for that putt bust when they formed Jefferson Airplane.
How long were you in jail for?
Oh, I don't know, 3 weeks.
Were you busted with a fair amount of marijuana or just a joint back then?
No, it was seeds and stems, actually, for that one.
Yeah. Shake, man. Busted for shake.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Grace Slick. She's real retired. Like, I don't see her anywhere, anytime.
No,
popping
she's
up. Royalties and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, writing White Rabbit was probably enough to...
Well, that song, there's certain songs like White Rabbit in every third movie where somebody starts smoking pot and the lens gets gauzy. That song gets,
here we go.
Right. So that gets cleared for so many movie soundtracks. It's like George Thorogood's Bad to the Bone used to do it every time Macaulay Culkin put the Wayfair sunglasses on and pop like they just certain songs.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper, School's Out for Summer. There's just certain songs that just get played and cleared in so many music. Yeah.
Spirit in the Sky.
Yes. Norman Greenbaum.
Well, man, that's in practically every other commercial.
Yes.
Either singing it or just the intro.
The riff. Nothing says rock and roll like the name Norman Greenbaum.
Yeah.
That's who wrote Spirit in the Sky.
Great.
Yeah, you hear that lick, right? But you did one of my favorite songs, which we played earlier, which was Jane. I know you co-wrote that one. That is the rockinest of all the Airplane and Starship songs, I would say.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be rockin' when I started it out. I was thinking more of like the Rolling Stones kind of Baroque period when they were doing Ruby Tuesday and stuff. Because I wrote it on the piano, and I was writing it for Marty Ballin. And but we had that great guitar player in Jefferson Starship, Craig Chiquiso, and he was listening to some other kind of thing. I think probably Toto.
Hold the line.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And so he heard it and said, and I kind of said, I would like to make this I think I'd like to make this more rocky now. And he said, you came to the right guy. And
nice.
And he came up with that whole arrangement. So
were you doing the piano part and he was doing the guitar part?
No, actually, I played bass on that one.
Oh, really?
Pete Sirius was playing the keyboards on that one.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
We kind of went back and forth between keyboards and bass. Whatever Pete was playing, I played the other one.
Now, I know you had a little friction over We Built This City, which I was explaining earlier in the show, gets on everyone's worst songs top 10 list, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't think of it as a great song. I just don't think it should make a list of worst songs ever, but I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, see, that was Starship, and that was after I left. I left right after Paul did, and and I liked it. I mean, when I heard it, I wasn't on it or anything. Our drummer, Donnie Baldwin, is with Jefferson Starship these days, and he was on that singing high harmonies and stuff and playing drums, and I thought it was fine.
So you're not putting it on the worst list?
I would never do that.
I don't know. I feel like you're holding something back.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I had a piece of it.
Oh, great. Oh, then never mind. All bets are off.
I don't know. Maybe we can find Dawson one of those worst song lists. I could easily create my own.
Yeah, you need to do it.
Oh, I have.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Oh, Joe, I'll tell you in my book, I think in 50 Years for All Be Chicks, I think I did create a worst song list, but it could have been the next. Could be the next one, but we'll test it with David and see if he hates the same songs I hate. But is that list? Is there a list?
Rolling Stone has a list. I'm seeing if I can dig it all up right
now. Oh, okay. I hate Lou Reed. I don't know if you ever got to work with Lou Reed. I hate all his music. I hate everything about Lou Reed.
I don't hate anybody. No.
Yeah, he doesn't seem so negative. I got to be honest with you.
I don't like Lou Reed. I don't like Joan Jett. I don't like Prince, and I don't like the Beastie Boys. Those are my top. And Hall & Oates, the worst. Oh, the worst. And the Eagles have so many bad songs. Oh, yeah. And Fleetwood Mac. Other than that. But you don't hate anybody.
Yeah.
No.
This guy's late in his career. You're trying to get him into a rap battle right now.
I know.
No. I always think if a band's having a good time and enjoying themselves, and the people that are listening to them are having a good time, I'm all for that.
I'm with you, sir. I'm with you. But this old codger hates the Eagles.
Rolling Stone said We Built This City. They did an online readers poll in 2011. We Built This City was the worst song of the 80s. Incorrect. There's so many worse songs than that. We Built This City by Starship has been called the worst song of all time by some,
brutal,
including magazines Blender and GQ magazine. Now, I think what happened, I saw a doc. There's an interesting doc out there on Nickelback.
Yeah.
And there was a whole phenomenon where they were just like the biggest band in the world for a year. And then somebody turned on them, and then everyone just turned on Nickelback. But they didn't do anything any differently. They just played and toured. And the next thing you know, Nickelback became a punchline.
It's internet culture did that, yeah. But we all had the same. It's like the inline skating is gay joke.
Really?
The hardest part about, that killed the whole thing. Same thing. The internet just turned on
right,
poor
because
Nickelback.
Nickelback was always Nickelback. Why? How'd you go from everyone loves Nickelback to everyone hates Nickelback in 4 months?
Who knows?
I guess it's the internet. But I think you guys got Nickelback with Built This City before it was even popular.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention at that point.
Why'd you get out of Starship?
Oh, they were okay. All the bands I played in up until then, most of the songs came from the band, you know, and where people in the band would get together and write some stuff, you know, and they were being produced and getting hit songs, you know, listening to cassette tapes, picking out the best song, only hit songs. And I believe, because I really wasn't there, but I don't think they have any songs written by the band. They put out any Starship. But they got some damn good songs. I mean, you know, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. That's beautiful. That's kind of 3/4 of the people that we play to's wedding song. So.
Right. But you wanted to do original material. Or your own material?
Well, yeah. Well, that was what I did, and I wasn't fitting in with this, and I was feeling uncomfortable because I don't know. I was kind of I always kind of felt like the main thing I can do best is probably sing, and I love to sing harmony, and you know that's my real thing. I love to sing with people, and the guy that was producing them was Peter Wolf was his name, and he was a fantastic. I've never seen a better keyboard player in my life, man. I mean,
Peter Wolf from the Jay Giles band.
That
that different one.
Different Peter Wolf.
Oh, too bad.
He's Austrian. He was Vienna Conservatory of Music kind of. I mean,
yeah.
And he was just a whiz, man. I could never play any of that stuff. I was just a folk piano player.
I found my list. Is this all of it? That's all of it. All right. You ready? Here's my list of worst songs of all time. No Jefferson Starship on it.
That's good.
Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer. Oh. It's a horrible, simple, it's a boring, simpleton song that should have never been played on the radio. It's shit. Robert Palmer sucks. Sorry, God rest his soul, but he's a hack. His music's horrible. All right. This could offend a few of the people. Cocaine by Eric Clapton. It's a boring, stupid, slow song. I don't. On that note, I Shot the Sheriff by Bob Marley. Not because I even hate it that much. It's the lyrics. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. You're still doing time. It's worse that you shot the sheriff, and you know it'd be better if you just shot the deputy, but left the sheriff alone.
Yeah.
Anyway, bad song. I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. Another crappy, supposed to be an anthem. It's an anthem for dumb people who don't really know music. It sucks, just like all her songs. Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. Another big, crappy, boring slog. It's too repetitive. It's too simple. It's too simple. Abracadabra by Steve Miller. Sucks. Horrible. Steve Miller has some of the worst songs ever. Stuck with You by Huey Lewis. Yes, it's true. I'm so happy to be stuck with you, and I can see that you're happy to be stuck with me. It's a children's rhyme. It's not a real song. It's not a real song. I love Huey. He knows that song sucks. He knows I told him that song sucks.
Yeah, you gotta love Huey, man.
Nicest guy in the world, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Girl Is Mine by Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson. Embarrassing. I mean, for two greats to get together and make that Reese's shit sandwich called The Girl Is Mine. Very disappointed. Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys always suck. Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston. Sucks. American Woman. Horrible. I like the Guess Who, but American Woman, horrible. And then, of course, there's Man Eater by Hall & Oates. That's my list of horrific songs that I never need to hear again. David, thoughts?
You're welcome to them, man.
you as a musician, when I said Robert Palmer, Addicted to Love, I could see you nodding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I felt some.
You know that's a shit song, right?
Let the darkness take over you, David.
I'm not sure. I remember enjoying that song.
No.
But you know music. That's the whole point. You have to hate bad songs, right? Because of your knowledge of music. Like, I know comedy, so I really hate bad comedy because I know comedy. You must be that way with music, right?
Maybe I just like the video. I don't know.
Oh, the Guitar Girls.
I'm picking up what you're putting
Maybe
down.
that's something. All right, David, let me give you a plug. Live dates out on tour starting February 11th. JeffersonStarship.com is where we go, and then we can find all the dates.
You can find them all.
And
I don't even know them all. They're still pulling them in. So
playing all the hits.
Yeah, we even play We Built the City. Yep.
Oh, really? Okay, good for you. You know what Rolling Stone magazine had to say about this.
Yeah, it's my favorite, best song ever.
David Freiberg, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, sir.
Good luck out on tour. You know,
we're just going to have fun. Man.
The groupies, the cocaine. I get it.
Yeah.
The nightlife, the partying.
You like the boogie.
I know it. I know what that life's like.
I'm 86 years old, man. I can't do that.
I'll bring you some edibles.
Thanks, David.
I can do that.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Ever see your dog slowing down or having health issues and wonder, what can I do to make them better? Well, I have an answer, my friend. Add rough greens to your dog's food for 90 days, and you'll see changes that will amaze you. It's guaranteed. In the first 30 days, you'll see shinier coats and increased energy. I saw it with Phil. By day 60, your dog will have a stronger immune system, less shedding, and improved joint function, all due to the live nutrients you've added to their diet. So they're eating dead food, essentially, and you don't want a refrigerator filled with food, and you don't have the money for that either. You add this. You add live nutrients to your dog's food. That's right. And at day 90, better digestion, reduced inflammation, improved heart health, and you might even have reduced their cancer risk. This is great stuff. I spoke to the owner of the company. I use it myself. Rough Greens. Am I right, Dawson?
Fetch a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. Go to roughgreens.com. Just use promo code Adam. That's RUFF greens.com and use promo code Adam and just cover shipping. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens.
All right, Mayhem, let's do some news.
Lyft sued after a 489-pound passenger told she can't fit inside the car. I hope we have the video for this because a Detroit rapper and influencer, Dwa Blanding.
Wait, how's she spelling it? How's she spell it?
D-A-J-U-A. Dahua?
Daja?
Daja? Yeah, I would have to see her because I thought it was Spanish.
How's Doja Cat spell her name?
D-O-J-A.
And this is Daja.
This is Daja.
All right.
Oh.
She's
a tremendous sized lady.
She's say she was, what was she?
490, I think. No, 489 pounds.
Oh, okay. She's not, so she's got 100 on your version of Lizzo.
No, yeah, you're right.
Okay, but she couldn't fit.
She could not fit in the car. Please tell me you have the video. Yes?
And she couldn't fit in the Lyft.
Now, the reason
she's suing Lyft.
The reason that she can sue is in Michigan. It's the only state where weight is legally protected under anti-discrimination laws. So that thing that we were talking about at the top of the show.
No, I get it, but okay, a couple things. If you are going to be a certain size, whether it's weight or height or width, whatever that is. We build societies. We built this city on fat and roll. Fat and rolls. No, here's what I'm saying. When I sit on an airplane and I'm in coach, my knees press against the table, the seat, in front of me because I'm 6'2". Now, I'm not freakishly tall, but I'm taller than the average coach passenger, and thus my knees hit the seat in front. And it's marginally uncomfortable because we didn't build the seats for me. We just went, what is the average height American? 5 foot, 5'7.25". That's the spread we're putting on the seat.
Yeah.
And then my knees push up against the seat in front of me. So we do this with just about everything because that's how society works. Every seat belt, but knives and forks are made for people of average sized hands, not Andre the Giant's hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the last Southwest flight I took, there's 2 seats there. I was the last guy on the plane, right next to a crane operator. Yeah, you heard right. Crane operator who sits all day cranking the crane around. Yeah, about 380 or so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just pulled right in, snuggled up, went to sleep.
All right, let's hear what she has to say. She's denied.
This Lyft driver denied me service. BC of my size.
What you saying?
Why is that voice? Someone's fucking around with this video,
I can
right?
fit in this car.
Believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
Believe me.
Believe her.
What am I gonna do about my money?
I'm gonna cancel you. You're not gonna be charged.
So you telling me I can't get in the Lyft because I can't fit in your car?
Yeah, you need to order a bigger car.
What makes you think I can't fit in a car?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What makes you think I can't fit?
Well, hold on a second. I'm looking at you. You're 500 pounds, and this is a Daihatsu Charade with like a limited amount of space in the back seat. That's why I'm. By the way,
my shocks aren't taking that.
Her going, what makes you think I can't fit in the car? She's kind of setting herself up for a fall there, isn't she?
No, she's using the fact that people will be polite to an end.
Oh, okay.
She's
what is?
I think she's trying to get him to say you're fat.
Yeah.
And that's
that's
you can turn that around in a
discrimination.
lawsuit.
Yeah, Michigan
Also,
discrimination.
I feel sorry for foreign guys because foreign guys don't come from new school bullshit where we have. They just say stuff. You know what I mean?
And he's been already. He knows. He's tiptoeing around it. He's trying not to.
All right. Well, let's hear the rest. Sorry, I want to see.
My best friend has a Benz that's newer than this that I can fit in. That's the same size.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't.
So you really telling me I'm too big to get in your car?
Yeah, well, just
So
get
I
a
gotta order another Lyft.
get a Cadillac Escalade.
She's out of breath.
To be more specific with you, I got very tired tires.
Oh.
What I got to do with your tires?
Hold on a second. His tires.
Yeah.
Well, look. Let's be kind. Let's see. This guy would probably let 240-pound dudes get in the back, right? What do you weigh?
Yeah. I weigh 230, yeah.
All right. You and your buddy.
Me and Rampage.
You and
sit in the back.
Rampage, after a night of drinking, could slide into the back of this guy's Mercedes.
He wouldn't be
wouldn't
stressed.
say anything about the tires, right?
No.
Although he'd probably be scared of you and Rampage. A big chain around his neck. So there's you and Rampage could get in the back. I get that. The old tires thing, that's where it starts getting a little insulting now. But all right, keep it going.
Pop the tires.
Yeah, and you have no space.
How you know I don't have no space?
Yeah, I got no space in the back. Believe me.
How do you know I don't have no space?
Because I tried before.
Huh?
Because I've been.
All right, hold on. At a certain point, just pop it in reverse, right? Like roll the window up.
What are you doing?
Prop it in reverse. She gets her money refunded. Now she's feeling like everybody. She's morbidly obese. She's unhealthy. Go on a fucking diet. Society's not going to bend around you.
Well, they are. No, that's where you're wrong, Carolla.
You're right. You're right.
Lyft, in a public statement,
I gotta
Lyft
apologize.
unequivocally condemns all forms of discrimination. We believe in a community where everyone is treated with equal respect
believe in a
and
community.
mutual kindness. Our
No,
community guidelines and the terms of service explicitly prohibit harassment or discrimination.
Well, they're not doing anything. Look, if I ran, okay, you see, they have those bucket scoopers that they used for the guys who are the linemen for the county who work on the power lines. They just say on a max weight 300 pounds.
Yeah.
It's not discrimination not to let Tubblard into it. It's just going, you ain't going to fit, and that's not what it's rated to. You know, like I went and picked up a genie lift, which he would need to get in the back of this car. It's a lift. It's like a forklift, but you crank it with your hands and it lifts.
Scissor?
It's not scissor. It's genie.
Okay.
Genie's different than scissor, although scissors a lift.
Yeah.
This is up. I just went and picked it up many, many years ago from a rental place, and I brought a Ford Explorer, and I said, just fold it in half and throw it in the back, you know, and they went, that's not going to fit. And I said, oh, yeah, it's going to fit. And I got good eyeballs, not as good as yours. I said, it's going to fit. And they go, no. And then I said, just fold it in half and slide it in the back of the Ford Explorer. It's definitely going to fit. I'm looking at it. And they're like, nah, not going to fit. And then at some point, about the fifth time, he goes, you can't take it in a SUV. You got to take it in a truck. So they had a rule. The point is, I don't know why. It pissed me off. I hated it. But the rule was you don't get to put it in the back of an SUV. Insurance, whatever. You can put it in the back of a pickup truck, in which case I had to find a pickup truck and come back and blah, blah, blah. It's a long story. But the point is he's not discriminating. He's just going, I don't think you can fit in here. That's all. He makes his living doing this. He'd be happy to take your money.
Yeah.
And I don't know that she could fit in the back of that miniature Mercedes.
Kind of slim. Yeah. Looked, I don't know if that's happening.
All right.
Moving on. Look, New York Magazine cover accused of cropping out black attendees of Trump inauguration event.
That's about right.
The black conservative influencer C.J. Pearson posted on X, I hosted this event, and New York Mag intentionally left me out of their story. Yeah, apparently they're trying to hide the fact that any black people like Donald Trump, and I know a few in my family.
Are we not past any of this stuff yet? Are we still, everything's race?
They're hanging on to it.
They're hanging
something
on.
That's been like...
They're hanging on to it.
Yeah, so there you can see the
cruel.
They really
kids. They hate everybody.
They're trying to paint the narrative that MAGA is only white and it's not a phenomenon that has African Americans in it, and you can plainly see there this is not true.
But what I never understand about any of the race hustle, and it's all a hustle. It's all a fucking hustle. That's all Biden did for 4 years, is race hustle. It's all Kamala Harris does is hustle. They never really work it out. Like, J.D. Vance is married to an Indian woman, I think. So does that count or does that not count? You know, they have mixed race kids. Donald Trump's daughter converted to Judaism. Like, do any of these things count when you try to appoint, Vivek Ramaswamy? Does that count for some sort of intersectional points? Or when you have a chick like Nikki Haley, female, so I guess got some race mixed in there. Does any of that count, or is it just you love white men and that's all you'll fraternize with? Except for my cabinet is littered with women and then men who aren't white. Are we counting them? No, we don't count them. Why don't we count them? Well, they think like you think. Oh, but I thought this was about race. Like, if we're just talking about race, then why isn't Candace Owens embraced by the whatever community? And it's like, well, we don't like her. And I'm like, yeah, but she's a black woman, and all you guys count is race. So shouldn't it just be good enough? She's a fuck of a lot blacker than Kamala Harris is. No. Kamala Harris we like, and Candace Owens we don't like. And then we don't. Thomas Sowell, we don't really count because he's black, but he's conservative. But so we don't count him. Yeah, but I thought you guys were obsessed with race. Well, no, it's race. But you got to think like, well, what color's Joe Biden? Oh, he's an old white guy who's married to a blonde woman. He's the whitest dude on the planet who's got a corrupt son who goes to Ukraine and rips off money from white people. Okay. But that's good, or you like the so Gavin Newsom is what color? And then he's running against Larry Elder, who's black, but
as the black face of white supremacy.
Yeah, the Los Angeles Times said Larry Elder's the black face of white supremacy. So is it about race, or is it just about agreeing with you fucktards who ruin everything all the time? And by the way, you guys have played this fucking race card into the motherfucking ground. No one is ever listening ever again about your calls of whatever and diversity and every fucking other thing.
The era of weaponized racism
it's gone.
is sort
it's
of
gone. You guys
fading
fucked
away.
it out. You shouldn't have.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have. You fucked it out so hard that nobody listens or cares anymore. Maybe there is real racism. Don't know. Don't care. Not interested. You guys fucked it into the ground. Big mistake. Should have saved it.
All right. Well, speaking of racism.
So this is New York, and they have the cool kids or the cruel kids table, which is, all they want to do is, keep money for their billionaire friends and get them richer and stuff. By the way, you think Elon Musk gives a fuck, really, about whatever savings he's going to get on his tax returns or whatever? Anyway, there's 3 black men just sort of outside of the cropped picture. I think that's what this person is talking to. So I guess the answer is they're not tired of the race hustle, except for what they don't understand is nobody listens to them. They are still in race hustle mode, but no one gives a fuck anymore. We moved on. Yes.
Lizzo lost some weight.
That's right. Lizzo lost some weight.
Yeah. Next up, non-sanctuary coastal enclave sues California for the right to enforce its own laws. Yeah, Huntington Beach leaders recently voted to declare
I love Huntington Beach.
the enclave a non-sanctuary city in an effort to combat illegal immigration and crime within its borders.
Well, you do. All right, so everyone understand how this works.
Yeah.
In the sanctuary cities, you arrest an illegal alien, not an undocumented American. Or whatever. You arrest a legal alien if you're in Chicago or in a sanctuary city. And then you have him in custody, right? And this illegal alien is here illegally and has committed a crime. So then ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, says, you have this guy in custody in your Chicago jail. He's here illegally, so we're going to send ICE to go get him, and he's a criminal, and we're going to take him back, or we're going to remand him to the custody of ICE. And then the sanctuary city, meaning Los Angeles, Chicago, or whatever bumfuck shithole city, goes, well, we're not playing with you. We're a sanctuary city. We're not going to turn this illegal criminal over to you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to release him from the prison, but we're not going to release him to you. And then then ICE goes, okay, well, now you've released him back into the population, but we're still ICE and he's still here illegally. So now we're going to go to his apartment building, and this time we're going to have our guns with us and somebody kicking in the door, and somebody may get shot. Don't know. We could have done this the easy way when he was already in custody, but now it's been a week and he's back at his place and we don't know what he's doing in there. And by the way, when we go there to get him, to get the criminal who's here illegally, if there are other folks hanging around that are illegal, we'll take them too.
Yeah.
Now, they could have stayed because we didn't have to go to his apartment where his sister was there. Because she's not a criminal. But you didn't give him to us while he was in custody.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots. So now we're just going to go raid the fucking place now. Now, listen. You want to talk about throwing away taxpayer money, but you also want to talk about insanity. But you also want to talk about, do they really care? Like, you're talking about the innocent person getting caught up in the net, not the criminal, but the person who's here illegally, but not a criminal, and you don't want to get them deported. You're going to get them deported because we're going to have to go look for this guy who is the criminal, and maybe his mom, maybe his brother are not criminals, but they're there, and we're going to scoop them up too.
What do you think about what Ronald Reagan did back in the day? Amnesty. He like toughened up the border and then gave amnesty just like one day. Here you go. You know, you're going to be an American citizen if you're here paying taxes. And then ushered a whole new wave of Americans in.
Here's what I think. I think there is a pecking order where you go, all right, illegal alien violent criminals, you're first.
Yeah, out.
So we start with that and we move our way down to illegal alien, whatever criminal. And at some point we get to been here illegally for 12 years but pays taxes and has a job. And now we can talk about a right to citizenship or a path.
A lot of businesses run on illegal labor. It's because that's the cheapest guys you can get, hardest working guys you can get for certain kind of jobs. And you know it, in construction, some hardworking dudes came with nothing and are working their ass off 12 hours a day, you know?
Oh, there's a lot. I agree. There's a lot of them. I work with a lot of those dudes.
So I think there should be some pathway to citizenship instead of, let's just lock especially in California. If I lived somewhere else, I could see, there's a few guys here and there. But California, we've been so long with this, like turning a blind eye to illegal immigration, that we'd be fucked if 2 million people disappear out of the state.
Yeah. Also, though, you know, it's very elitist and racist when they go, who's going to clean your toilet and who's going to stack your cinder blocks.
I'm not in about all that. I know there's highly skilled guys.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's poor people.
Yeah.
Like, I went to high school. My two best friends were Ray and Chris, white dudes, and they're both still working construction. And we all dug ditches and did construction. We did shit work. Who's going to dig the ditch? I don't know. The son of Jim Carolla will dig ditches because I am not going to college. I don't have any money, and no one's giving me any money, and I can't get a job at a law firm. So I shall dig ditches. That's what I did. That's what son of Gunter Oldhofer shall do, and son of Rick Bohm shall do. All the sons of the dads who didn't save for college and didn't give a fuck and didn't make any money will go to a construction site and dig ditches. Of the guy who got me my job, John Gillingham. That's a white dude. John Gillingham called me. He's like, you want to come make $7 an hour? And I was like, yes, I do. Every white dude I went to high school with who didn't work, who didn't go to college, we dug ditches.
Yeah.
That's how we made a living. So white people will do those jobs. Racist, elitist, rich people from Santa Monica. You're used to seeing Hispanics do the job, but traditionally, plenty of white people doing that shit. So the answer is poor people. And we'll always have poor people. But I never see any black people in the trades. Never. Ever.
No?
Never.
No.
Never. Close your eyes. Has anybody driven through Southern California and seen a black dude like just spreading stucco on the side of the freeway in apartment buildings like a crew, or mowing the lawn with a maintenance crew, or stacking cinder blocks by the side of the...
No.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It does not. When's the last time you called a plumber or a guy to come, snake your drain or fix the breakers or whatever? There's like whatever, and just black dude just showed up.
No, I can't.
That does not exist in Southern California.
That's strange. Yeah.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
There's plenty of poor black people here.
Yeah.
Never that job.
Damn. Yeah.
Not in the trades. If they gave half a shit about black people like they claim to, but they never fucking do anything, they would go down to the fucking inner city with the fucking and start in on some vocational training, man. Like, hey, you can be a certified welder in 6 months and make $65 an hour.
Yeah.
Working for SpaceX. You fucking learn to lay down a good bead.
Yeah, no, yeah. But culturally, America hasn't tapped into that. We waste money on different programs.
We don't even know. They just talk about, well, first off, they talk about going to college or being the first in your whatever. It's like, just fucking get a trade, make some money.
Yeah. I don't understand why our culture has shifted to you have to go to college. That's the only way to make it. Yeah.
We're getting away from it.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
All right, the last one is Sigourney Weaver live performance disrupted as confetti shooting eco protesters stormed the stage. Now I tried to watch
Sigourney
this.
Weaver?
She's doing a play of some sort.
Oh,
yeah. And 2 Just Stop Oil protesters interrupted a play starring Sigourney Weaver, bringing the show to a halt with a confetti cannon. Yeah, Weaver 75.
How many
show?
How many times? I don't know. How do you spell Sigourney Weaver? We'll look at it, but. How many times from 0 to 20 did Sigourney Weaver have to correct people? Like, you know what I mean? Like the guy at the DMV. Next is Sigourney.
Sigourney.
Is it Sigourney? Like, she must all the way through school. It's Sigourney. It's Sigourney. All right, let's watch her. Sorry.
Himself upon thy wicked jam. Come forth! As wicked you, as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry.
What's going on? The Eco Alliance people are...
Yeah, they must have watched the show because right as the guy pops out of the stage, they knew that this was the moment to protest oil.
By the way, every homo in that theater's down with your cause, 100%. You know, go to a Ted Nugent concert and get some converts. You know what I mean? Everyone there drove a Tesla to see Sigourney Weaver give her shitty soliloquy, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
They believe in they're down. With that cause. Now they're pissed off at you.
Ted Nugent give him traumatic brain injury, hitting him over the head with a guitar.
Oh, you love him because Stranglehold.
Yeah,
favorite.
That's my jam.
That's your jam.
I did that entrance song when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Stranglehold. Yeah.
That was your song?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a good song for you to enter to. You choke somebody out to that song. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Look, I don't know what I mean. They're getting Mayhem and Ace to talk about this, so I guess they did their job.
I guess, but I do feel like the ecology, as we used to call it, but now the whatever movement has served to piss more people off than it's like. Who was the spokesperson? Greta Thunberg. Everyone's like, oh, fuck that bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to think. If you got a movement, you know what I mean?
Well, hear her out. Here's what Walsh 42 said. She decided to participate in the protest because of 1.5 degrees, the global shipwreck we can't ignore. I'm scared for my children. I can't sleepwalk them into a future of food shortages, life-threatening storms, and wars for resources. Years of writing to MPs, going on marches, and teaching my students to be more sustainable hasn't seen the urgent change needed.
Yeah, okay. Find Leonard Nimoy, who narrates over the blizzard from 1974, 73, Billy Jack era. Hold on. This is 50 years old, everybody. This is 50 fucking years old. I grew up with this. 50 years old. Let's see what the expert said 50 years ago.
Move where? The brutal buffalo winter might become common all over the United States. Climate experts believe the next ice age is on its way.
Oh, here we go.
According to recent evidence, it could come sooner than anyone had expected.
Oh, look out, world.
At weather stations in the far north, temperatures have been dropping for 30 years. Seacoasts, long free of summer ice, are now blocked year-round. According to some climatologists, within a lifetime, we might be living in the next ice age.
Yeah. Leonard Nimoy died in Encino. It was 82 degrees outside. He was fucking smoking a cigarette.
In February.
And watching TV. That's what happened. But this is what they've been saying. This is 50 fucking years old.
Well, but I thought the information was updated. Now,
some experts
getting warm.
Experts, climate he pointed out the experts.
Yeah.
They talked to the experts
50 years ago. We got updated information.
Yeah,
right?
we got to update those experts. We got experts. We got COVID experts. We got climate change experts. We got race experts. We got a lot of experts. They know what they're talking about, right?
I'm listening to them all.
Fucking idiots. So she's worried about feeding her kids.
Yeah.
And she can feed them Leonard Nimoy and make Soylent Green out of them. Yeah, the kids aren't going to be able to eat. Yeah, kids can't eat. Raise the kids.
Production of the Tempest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's running from December 19th. It'll run till February 1st.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Nobody cares about your fucking climate change. We don't care about race anymore because you fucked it out, everybody. Also, there's nothing we're going to do about it. We don't control climate change. That you got to talk to China and India about that.
Yeah.
Boca Raton, second show. That'll be tomorrow. We added a show. First show sold out, so we added a second show. And then Naples, bunch of shows there off the hook, man. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 shows each day. So those will go.
Get it on.
But come on out and say hi, man. Also, go to jeffersonstarship.com. Say hi to David Freiberg out there touring all over the place. Manuka Honey, right?
SamuelManuka.com/mayhem.
So, till next time, Adam, for David and Mayhem saying, mahalo.